Hello everyone. My name is Freddy Farmill and today I'll be teaching you how to draw manga eyes. Well, as you can see, I already drew the left eye, so we're gonna draw the right eye together. Because as we all know, drawing the other eye is always the hardest part. Don't worry about what kind of pencil or paper you need. For this drawing, any will do. I'm using only one pencil for this piece, an HB pencil, and some cheap drawing paper, but even printer paper will do if that's all you have right now. Well, first of all, you see me making a curved line between the left eye and the place where the right eye is going to be. The reason why I do this is because the space between the two eyes is about as big as one eye, if that makes sense. I'm now sketching the right eye really softly. I'm not pushing my pencil at all, just really light, small strokes. I want these lines to be removable if needed. For this drawing, I'm even pushing a little harder than I would normally do because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm trying to make these eyes as symmetrical as I possibly can, and that's easier to do with very light sketching. Well, let's start by how I made the top eyelashes. It's just a curved line, but the outer part of the lashes, so the right side on the right eye, is curvier, so more downward than the rest of the lashes. Same goes for the bottom lashes, just less extreme, but especially if you look at the left eye, you can see that the left part has a little bit more of a curve to it, almost like a Nike logo. Um, while the iris is just a big oval shape, make sure that at least 10% of the oval gets covered up by the top eyelashes, or else your eyes will look very surprised or scared. Don't be afraid to make the eyelashes nice and thick, especially the top eyelashes. Don't just draw one curved line, but fill them in a little bit more. As you can tell, by the way, the eye that I'm drawing right now is not 100% symmetrical in relation to the left eye. I even considered starting over for you guys, but then I thought, no, I'm not gonna do that. This is a good lesson, so I'm gonna show you how to fix these little errors and that it's not a disaster to have little mistakes in your sketch. You can always tweak it until it looks nice, so don't give up too easily, even if it doesn't look really symmetrical right now. Now you can see me making some curved separate eyelashes to make the eyelashes look more like actual lashes, but don't add too many of these though. You also see me make this little glimmer in the eye. You can do that you can do whatever you want with these glimmers. I'm making one square per eye, but you could also make 2 or 3 circles or whatever. Just make sure it's symmetrical. For the eyebrows, you can just follow the same curve you made for the top eyelashes, but just a little bit wider. The space between the top lashes and the eyebrow should be around 1/2 eye, or at least a third. Now you can see me outline the iris. I always like to make a nice thick outline around it to make the eyes pop more. Just know, by the way, that almost all these kind of things are optional. There are 1,000 ways to draw manga eyes. There's no right or wrong, really. I'm just teaching you the way I personally like to draw these eyes. If you don't want to outline the irises in your drawing, that's totally fine. I'm gonna make some areas a little bit darker, so it's gonna be easier to see if the eyes are symmetrical. Now I'm also blocking in the pupil and the little glimmer. Just make it completely black, or at least as dark as your pencil allows you to. You can push way harder on the paper with your pencil to do so. The entire area I'm marking right now with the diagonal lines can be made black as well. What I like to do is make a curved line from left side to the right side of the iris, but making the inner parts of the iris lighter than the outer parts. So for the right eye, the dark area should be higher on the left side than it is on the right side, if that makes sense. Now I'm gonna make some lines that are coming from the pupil and go outward, so almost as if you're drawing a little sun. Also make these lines from the outer part of the iris, and these lines go toward the center of the pupil, and leave some space white between the lines of the pupil and the lines of the outer part of the iris. Now all you gotta do is follow these lines as you shade the iris. I like to make the iris lighter as I go further down, so the lines right underneath that black area should be pretty dark, and the lines at the bottom of the iris can be a lot lighter, a lot brighter. But even in the lighter areas, I still like to add some random darker lines to make the eyes a little bit more interesting and natural. Well, for the eyebrows, I like to fill them in with vertical stripes on the outer parts of the eyebrows, and the inner parts I just make all black. And now we've arrived at the final stage of this drawing, which is just tweaking. I'm gonna try and make the two eyes as symmetrical as I possibly can. It's easier to add black than it is to remove black. So for example, the glimmer on the left eye was a bit bigger than the one on the right eye. So I'm gonna make the left one smaller by adding black, and I'm not gonna try to make the right one bigger by trying to erase some black around the glimmer. I recommend in this stage of the drawing to look at your drawing from a distance, or maybe even take a picture of your drawing with your phone or whatever, because your brain kind of sees your drawing in a totally new way when you look at it on a picture. So you might suddenly see which areas aren't completely symmetrical. Well, I'm gonna be finishing this drawing now, and I'll speak to you when it's finished. Good luck! Hey, hello everyone, welcome back! Well, here are the eyes all finished, and as you can see, even though they started out quite asymmetrical, they look quite nice and symmetrical now. So that just goes to show, don't give up too easily. You can always tweak until it looks good. Some exceptions here and there, but you get the point. You can also see that I drew these eyes quite big, and not only because I wanted you guys to see what I was doing really good, but I also recommend you do that to practice. I always like to experiment with different sizes, so if you are learning how to draw manga eyes, I recommend you make a small version and a big version. Every time you do that, you learn something new, so yeah, I really recommend you do that. Also, I would love to hear how, if you followed along with this tutorial, how it went. Did your eyes turn out good? Bad? Great? Just let me know in the comments. Also, if you have a question, you can always ask me in the comments. You can also request a different tutorial, like if you want to learn how to draw manga hair or realistic eyes or whatever, just send a comment. Well, if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel, that would be great. It really helps me out a lot, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video really, really soon. Bye bye.